this is the Royal Albert Dock, or just... This is Liverpool. We're pretty much in the heart of the shipping area. There's a tower that says Radio City 96.7. I'm sure that's FM. They're building here, and the tour guide said that every time he comes here it looks different because there's so much building. So let's go around the bus a little bit and we'll show you what's over on the other side. Very beautiful. We're really looking forward to this tour. Well, here we are, the Magical Mystery Tour bus. It leaves in about, I don't know, 25 minutes or so. We are on the Magical Mystery Tour bus, waiting for them to take us away because we've made our reservation.
Something over there having a fight with an eel.
Yep.
Can you see it in the water?
Yeah, I'm filming it.
There you go. You have to pay extra for that, by the way.
Don't stop.
Well, it goes down and then comes up and then...
Yeah. We do pay him to do that to keep you lot happy. It's amazing,
It's
that,
a cormorant with an eel.
Yeah.
It'll pop out.
Wow, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Incredible, that, isn't it? And the very same year, Paul McCartney made an appearance at the arena to collect his Ultimate Legend Award at the MTV Music Awards. I think he deserved it, don't you? I think he did. Anyway, he was given the award by Bono from U2. And he was so excited, Paul McCartney was so excited, he actually gave Bono a Beatles tour the next day in his own car. That's cool, isn't it? Can you imagine pulling up next to the lights and seeing them two? Oh, there's Bono. Look who's driving. Amazing. So that happened. Bono said it was the best thing. He said, he said it was like being given a tour of Rome by the Pope in the Pope-mobile. That's what he said. So there you go. So sticking with religion, have a look on the hill. On the left-hand side, you're going to see, if you can't already see it, you will see in a minute, our Anglican Cathedral. Now the Anglican Cathedral is our Protestant one. We do have two. We have two cathedrals. We have the Catholic one, the Metropolitan, and we have the Anglican, which is the Protestant, and that's this one. Now when Paul McCartney was just 13 years old, he auditioned to join the choir at the cathedral because he heard that you got a free book. So anyway, he auditioned and he sang his heart out, and you know what happened? He was told, "You're not good enough." Paul McCartney, you're not good enough for the choir. Yes, the choir master said you failed the auditions. There you go. Now a few years later, Paul got his revenge. 1991, Paul got his revenge. He wrote a piece of music called the Liverpool Oratorio, classical piece, full orchestra, and he put it on. Where did he put it on? At the cathedral. Yes, indeed. And he also, he put it on the cathedral, and he invited the choir master. Yes, indeed, the choir master. He said, "Do you remember me?" Choir master went, "Yeah." "You're Paul McCartney." He said, "Do you remember what you said to me?" He went, "Yeah." "I told you weren't good enough." Paul said, "How do you feel about that now?" He said, "Well, if I'd not have said that, you wouldn't be where you are now, would you?" Anyway, there's the cathedral. I never tell anyone this, but I'm going to tell you guys because there's only a few. I've got a really good mate called Mark McNulty. He's a photographer, local photographer in Liverpool. And one day he was sat at home just having a cup of tea, just doing nothing. And he got a phone call, a very mysterious phone call, saying, "We need you, somebody's dropped out, we need you to come and take some photos at the cathedral." And he went, "What's it for?" They said, "Just take the job." And he came to the cathedral and they took him into a little back room of the cathedral. They went, "Here you go, this is Paul." And it was the day of the Liverpool Oratorio. and he ended up spending the day with Paul McCartney, taking photos of him. Said, and he is. I met him through the Beatles. You know, I met him because we were big Beatles fans. He said it was one of the best days of his life. Absolutely brilliant. Isn't that great? You never know what's going to happen in this city. Honestly, it's amazing. Right, guys, we're off to Toxteth now. We're going to go to Toxteth, and this is where the Beatles played their very first gig. So that's quite special.
So John Lennon's room was above the door of this home. A very beautiful home. Stained glass in every window. Now it's owned by the National Trust.
Portland Road.
Paul McCartney's home.
I'm very keen that we get back on time, so I won't stay too long, but I've just got a couple of stories while we're here. It helps to give you a bit of an idea of what went on. So Paul's bedroom is the one above the door again, just like John's. It's number 20. The doors and windows look old, right? But what happened was they had been updated when this was owned privately, and when the National Trust bought it, there was a house around the corner that still had its old windows and doors, so they paid for them to have double glazing and then popped these back on. So the inside of both John and Paul's houses are completely done out in 1950s and 60s furniture, wallpaper, carpets, and the outsides and the gardens have been made to look just like they would have done. Now, it's a bit of a myth that this is Paul McCartney's childhood home. I mean, it is. But he didn't leave here until 1964. That was the year of A Hard Day's Night. He was big, you know, he was a big star. So you can imagine Paul McCartney, as he looked in A Hard Day's Night, coming out, seeing his fans, going straight back in again, jumping over the back wall into the police training ground, which is still there, and then he'd leg it down the back, come out onto the green, get in his car and drive away. And that's how Paul would make his escape. Similar to how he did during the carpool karaoke, you may remember. He came out the house, got the car and got away, didn't he? Now, the lady that day who was in the house, who worked for the National Trust, was genuinely surprised that day because she was covering for a guy who phoned in sick that morning.
Oh my gosh.
It always takes about a second to land that one. Everyone goes, oh.
Bad timing.
I just think, you know, imagine the next day coming in. Did I miss anything? Do we tell him? But yeah, there we go. But this house has had lots of visitors. Bono, as we know, was brought here. But you know, on our tour, we've had people like, on our bus, we've actually had people like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's been on our tour.
Really?
Yeah, really, yeah. He sat on the back with his hood up and his glasses. Elvis Costello came just last year. We've had Mark Hamill, you know, Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Brought the Force with him. We've had loads of people. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Wow.
So those of you from over here, do you know Mel and Sue off the telly? Yeah. So Mel was on our bus about 2 weeks ago. So you just don't know who you're going to get. You know, it's crazy. So that's it, guys. There's the house. Get your photos. See you back on the bus.
Very nice.
Before my time.